It's another week and another 302 Sports, and a special one because we're world champions, Pat.
Yeah, we are. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Woo!
Oh, yeah.
It feels good to say that, Pat.
Feels good. Yeah. Remember that song, Little Tony, Tony, Tony? Oh, yeah.
What a reference and what a week it has been. But of course, the Eagles went aside. We got to talk about some high school sports, boys and girls basketball. We have a guy that's shutting it down. Boxing in our own backyard. Kyrone shut it down. Davis will join us towards the end of the show to talk about his upcoming fight March 3rd. We also have our Spotlight Game of the Week and Players of the Week. But first, we want to thank Gary and Nick of Hooters every week for allowing us to have the show here. 7 o'clock, 136 the Astros Shopping Center. Come in, hang out with us. Hang out with us after as well. It's always fun after the show. And, of course, enjoy some of their delicious wings.
Hey, Ben, I think, and I'm just putting this out there, I think you should go around with Kyrone for charity. We'll throw the headgear on you. If you can last around, I'll give you $100 because I don't think it's happening. But we'll talk about that later.
Too.
We'll talk about that later. It's not in the notes. We went off script for that. Anyway, here we go right now. Guys, and once again, we say it every week. We're going to continue to say it. If you have any highlights, scores, stats, or any other information you'd like to see on the show, just contact us, 302sports@gmail.com. Go to the website, 302sports.com, and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. That's at 302sports. And then we're on the Snapchat, sports_302. Of course, on the Twitter page, this young man to my right does the weekly Twitter poll, so get on there, vote right now if you can. It's still open, correct? It's still open. And then again, come down here, hang out with us at the Hooters at 136 Astros Shopping Center, and take in the show.
You want me to go around with Kyrone Davis? He has 6 knockouts.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to see it.
Pat might be hosting the show next week. All right, solo. Joining us, filling in for Mike Lang, is Nick Alessinger, and you know him as Twitter Nick. We also have Jason Winchell with us as well. It's time to talk about girls basketball. Looking at the top 10, we do have a team that wasn't ranked last week jumping in. We also have Sussex Tech moving up. Really not a lot of shakeups. Conrad, Sanford, Carabel, St. E's, Ursuline, Howard, Padua, and Hodgson. That's 1 to 8. And of course, 9 and 10 are the shakeups right there. Tatnall has dropped out. That's because last week, Tatnall lost in overtime to DMA 39-36. A tough one there. Winslow did have 19 points as the Seahawks were able to upset the Hornets. Sanford also beat Wilmington Christian, where Ali Kubek was able to get 19 points, 9 rebounds, almost a double-double. Conrad was also able to upend Ursuline, the number 1 team, beating Ursuline handily by 11 points. Kalasia sisters, they combined for 41. While Whittlesey was able to get 20 points for the top-ranked Red Wolves. Looking at some key matchups as we roll into this week, we have St. E's and Ursuline. It's going to be a matchup we'll talk about. Also, Sussex Tech and Cesar Rodney, Archmere, and Pat's alma mater, St. Elizabeth's, doing it again on next Tuesday. All right, we're going to Nick this one, putting him on the spot. What impressed you the most this past week with some of those games that were in?
For me, I'm going to go out and show some love to DMA. I thought DMA getting that overtime victory over Tatnall, and coming in, Tatnall was ranked in our top 10 last week.
Yeah.
As you can see, now dropped out. But taking them to overtime, showing perseverance, getting 39-36, we'll take it. DMA, big overtime victory.
Jay, there are some teams in our preseason top 10s that we were expecting big things from, and for whatever reason, the season hasn't gone the way that maybe they expected. So, name a team that we expected to be in that top 10 but have struggled this season, and then let us know why you think they've struggled.
Well, I'm going to go Cesar Rodney. I know they just jumped back in at 10, but they started the year number 3 in the state of Delaware and fell out of the top 10 for a while, and they're starting to round back in shape. But I think what they did was they challenged themselves this year, playing a lot tougher schedule, and they fell short in those games, which I think will help them come tournament time, as they are now used to playing that tougher competition. Because last year they went 19-1, cruised into the quarterfinals, and lost to St. Elizabeth by 25 points, a St. E's team they beat in the regular season. But they just didn't have the caliber of opponents that St. E's had, so when they met in the state tournament, they weren't prepared for them. This year, they challenged themselves early, so the record is 9-6, which isn't a bad record, but not a great record from the expectations we set on that team at the beginning of the year.
It's easy to look just to the top 10 and forget there are other teams outside of it, teams that are still winning. Dickinson, Woodbridge are a couple of those teams. At what point during the season do you think they can pose a threat to some teams in the top 10?
Well, I do think, and all these top teams know that you always got to practice and play like any team you're playing is a threat. And any team's going to be a threat, especially teams like Dickinson and Woodbridge that we talked about, because they can actually win. And they're winning. We're seeing it now. So if they're going to win like that, I think especially you got to pay attention to them. You never know what can happen when it gets in the tournament. So like you said.
Two teams that have been exceptional, at least in state this year, Conrad and Sanford, both flawless within the state of Delaware, Jay. Do you think this continues for them? Do they continue on into the state tournament undefeated within the state? Or do you see them perhaps maybe having some competition? Is this sealed up? Is this going to be the championship matchup? Or do you think there's someone else that can knock them off?
Well, it's interesting you say that because Sanford plays their toughest schedule coming up. They got Kyrone and Ursuline. Now they're both at Sanford, but not easy games for either of those, for that team. Conrad's still got a trip to St. Elizabeth to make. So they do have some speed bumps on their way, but the way those two teams are playing right now, that looks like a state championship preview. Because those two teams are rolling right now. You mentioned it. Well, we saw Conrad put up 73 points against the Ursuline team that likes to holds teams to like 40, 50 points at tops. And Conrad scored 73 and made it look easy. So right now they are clicking on all cylinders. Same thing with Sanford. And Sanford's got Kubiak, who's playing real well. Like Ben said, she almost had a double-double. She also had 6 steals in that game, which is impressive for a big girl to have that many steals down low. Shows that she's athletic, and they're a dangerous team too. So to beat those two, you're going to have to be playing your best ball, but they will have some tough tests coming up.
Speaking of tough tasks, we talked about some teams outside the top 10. What about some other teams outside the top 10 that can pose a tough challenge come championship time?
Well, I think a couple are. We've talked a little bit about them, not much. St. George's girls won. And then a team that just dropped out of our top 10, that was Tatnall. I think they're also, even though they did drop out, they had that loss to DMA. I do think they've had some solid wins. I think they'll be able to come back and maybe make a run for it as well.
You look at a couple games this week here, Jay, and one that is intriguing me is this rematch between St. E's and Ursuline. St. E's got the win at home. They're now traveling to Ursuline. How do you think that's going to go? What's Ursuline got to do to get the victory?
And the tip-off was scheduled for 7 o'clock tonight, so they might have already tipped it up.
Might have.
But Ursuline, Ursuline got Olivia Mason back and Woola back. They didn't play much against Conrad, as they're still trying to get back into the flow. Like, they didn't start, but they did come off the bench, and Mason scored 10 points in that game. That will help them because they need some balanced scoring because Conley can go for 20, 25, but she isn't getting any help. It's hard for her to do everything for that team when you're playing the top teams like St. Elizabeth. So I think if Mason gets it going today, I think they have a strong shot of beating St. Elizabeth, and they are on their home floor. They've only played four home games this year. They're 3-1, and one of the losses is to Cardinal O'Hara, who's a great PA team. So they're going to be a tougher team at home, but St. E's does have the talent that can go in there and beat them.
Nick, final question before we go to break. St. E's, Ursuline, we just talked about that. Is there another game of the three we mentioned, or another game in general that has your interest?
I'm going to go Sussex Tech and Cesar Rodney. Two top 10 teams, number 9 and number 10. Another top 10 matchup. You got to love that, but also, like I said, I'm real excited tonight. St. E's and Ursuline, that should be a really good game as well.
Only a couple of weeks left in the season. We are coming up close to championship time, if I'm correct. It's time now to talk about boys basketball. We'll recap Salesiana versus Smyrna. That's coming up next on 302 Sports Weekly.
No matter where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you, for all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company.
Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvement's pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
And welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. Benny Pinella, Pat Garanes, Nick Alessandrini doing very good work filling in for Mike Lang, and of course Jason Winchell joining us. Time to talk about men's basketball. Pat, you want to get into the recap?
We're going to get right into the recap. Our Spotlight Boys game of the week. Salesianum Smyrna, normally a football rivalry, now starting to get involved in the hoop action. Both teams were in the top 10, and we're going to jump into this in a second. And just before we hop in, you guys were there. What was it like there watching this game?
I mean, whenever you go to Sally's, it's a great environment. I know Nick was there with me. Student section very live, and it was. There was so much great game, give anything away, but it was a great game. Very electric, and both teams came out and played pretty well.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna hop right on into this one. So here we go. Right off the bat, first possession of the game here. So boom, Bloodsworth misses, put back by Jameer Garnett. Early score there for Smyrna. Jack Brown answers with the big time three. That's what he does well. So 8-7 the score. Bloodsworth into the lane, little floater is off, no good. Rebound to Garnett. And then we got Matthews into the lane, kicking out the three here. So far, Smyrna starting off here early here. But Salesian would answer. You see Mike Wallace into the lane, scooping it up. Nothing doing. 14-8 score. That ends the first. Now we're into the second quarter. Cohill kicks it out. There's a three by Wallace. He's a good shooter, Nick. We had him on the show. This is what he does well. So far, 18-17 right now. Smyrna leading Salesianum. There's the free throw by Vaughn is good. Now later on here in the second quarter, Caleb Matthews into the lane, kicking it to the corner. Bang! Nothing but the bottom of the net as Smyrna unbreaks the tie, pushing it to 21-18. Later on, Paul Brown. Layup no good. His brother gets the rebound, goes up strong. That's no good. Eventually, Paul Brown would finish, cut this lead down to 1. 23-20 now here in the third quarter, Nick Alessandrini. And at this point, what's going through your head? You got a close game. Smyrna trying to pull away. Was this thing as exciting in person as it is right here watching on screen?
It was. As we did a couple Sally's games before, and Sally's a real good defensive team, and it showed against Smyrna early. A lot of those guys struggled, and you're seeing it here. It was a very close game.
As you can see right here, Salesianum trying to keep things close. 3 ball right there by Wallace. Pushes it within 1. Now a 4-point game later in the quarter, and boom, Bloodsworth. He was deadly from 3. Knocks that one in, pushes the lead out to 7. Smyrna in control. Nice little backdoor cut and find. Paul Brown to Mike Wallace. As you can see, Greg Bloodsworth rolled his ankle on that play. So Smyrna right now, what's going through your head? You see Bloodsworth go down, and you thinking that's a game changer?
To be honest, through that game, Bloodsworth didn't really become a factor till late. It was a lot of Garnett. Garnett was huge in this game, and with the energy and the scoring, the rebounding, he was all over the place.
You can see once again Wallace hitting from deep, cutting this lead down to 4 into the lane. Wallace again having himself quite a night on the highlight reel in this one. Jack Brown from NBA range says, "Steph who?" Pulls out the arrow. Bam, I love the 3-point arrow. You gotta love that. So here we are, 48-45. After the free throw, Paul Brown, air ball, 48-40. Smyrna gets the rebound, and that's going to do it. They hold on. Here's Garnett finishing at the end. 50-45. Smyrna gets the win in our Spotlight game of the week. Great game, Nick Alessandrini.
Yeah, it was a great game, and like we said, interesting part for me was watching was there wasn't a lot of Bloodsworth, and Caleb Matthews actually struggled a little bit early as well. I mean, he found his rhythm, was able to score his points and make other great plays for the team. But it was a lot of Garnett. Garnett was ferocious on the boards. He was knocking down jump shots. I believe he hit a 3. He kind of set the tone for them early, and they kind of rolled with it throughout.
And Jay, you talked about it when we were breaking this game down pre-game, that the Salesian defense will make this game close. They kind of kept Matthews and Bloodsworth under wraps, but like Nick said, they always got that third guy waiting in the arms there, Garnett. What did you see from Salesian's defense?
Yeah, Salesian's defense was good. In fact, at one point they cut it to 1, 43-42. Held Smyrna scoreless 3 straight possessions, but just could not capitalize on the offensive end to take the lead in that game. If they convert maybe one of those times on the offensive end, maybe it's a different game coming down the stretch. But they did a good job. They didn't let Bloodsworth or Matthews beat them. But unfortunately, like you said, Garnett's that third option, and he had a big game for Smyrna, and that's a big road win for Smyrna. I know they're ranked second in the state, but just to come out there and go into Salesianum, not an easy place to win, and still the win, it's got to feel good for their coach.
And that loss for Sally's definitely did hurt him a little bit in terms of the rankings. They are now 8-5 at 6 in our top 10 as they look to continue the season on. Caravel at 7, St. George's Tech 8, Newark Charter 9, Woodbridge, they're unranked. They move in and take Red Lions spot at 10. Looking at the top 5, William Penn, Sussex Tech, Sanford, Smyrna. Number 1 in the state is Cape Henlopen. Very impressive. They look to keep that going when they look at this upcoming week. They will be hosting Sussex Tech. Appoquinimink is going to be at William Penn. That's our 302 Spotlight game of the week. We also have St. Elizabeth's and Sanford, Woodbridge and Caravel, and Mount Pleasant and Salesianum. Those are some of the games to look forward to. All right. Look at these upcoming games, Nick. Which one of them kind of interests you the most outside of our 302 Spotlight game of the week?
Outside of that one, but yeah, watch that one. That's going to be a good one. That's tomorrow night. But outside, I mean, I got to go with Woodbridge and Caravel. Woodbridge is a team that broke into our top 10 this week and then suffered a loss to William Penn last night, so maybe going to fall back out. But they're a team I'm been looking at, and they've been hollering at us on social media and getting in on it. And so now they're in our top 10. I think a matchup with Caravel is a team that they can prove themselves against if they were to put up a real good game or maybe beat. So I'm going to go Woodbridge Caravel.
That's the ultimate prove-it game. You're going against the state runner-up, a team Caravel that's scrappy. No better way to prove yourself. You're pushing for it. You want that recognition. We gave it to you. Now they're going to go out there and have a chance to prove it. We talked about this a couple weeks, last week, the week before. Sanford. They're starting to look like Sanford again, Jason. They've won 10 in a row. Interesting question here. We got them ranked 3rd right now behind Smyrna and Cape Henlopen, but are they really the team to beat right now?
Oh man, I really do think they are the team to beat right now. They played Cape Henlopen early in the year and lost to them. They were still coming together as a team. They had a lot of moving parts. I mean, I know they got Jair Davis, and he's that type of player. But they had the young freshman. They had a new point guard, Perkins, that transferred over from Tatnall, learning a new system. So kind of like we saw in football with Wilson at Smyrna. It took them a few games to get into it. Then they got in the groove, and Sanford's in that groove right now. 10 in a row. They're playing their best ball. They got a tough one tomorrow night. St. Elizabeth's comes in. St. Elizabeth's lost last night to St. Mark's, and they're coming in off a loss to St. Mark's, a game where they really thought they should have won. So does that fire St. Elizabeth's up? Do they go in there into Sanford tomorrow night and knock them off? I don't know. I don't think they can, because I think Sanford is playing so well right now.
And Sanford's got a little bit behind it because St. E's last season defeated them in the regular season, despite 36 points from Jair Davis.
Yeah, very impressive there. All right, Newark Charter, Woodbridge, Nick, you talked about them a little bit. They keep on winning. They keep on, winning games and getting themselves into the top 10. Can they give some teams higher up in the top 10 fits later in the season?
I absolutely think so, Benny. We talked about this in the last segment as well with the girls. Anything can happen come tournament time, especially when you got hot teams like this. That's the best time to be playing your best ball, is going right into the tournament, and these teams are staying hot. So like we saw Caravel last year in the state tournament, how they made their run. So you always got to be aware for some of these teams, maybe outside the top 10 or late in the the top 10, absolutely.
Jake talked about two teams that are outside the top 10 right now. St. Elizabeth and St. Mark's. St. Mark's picking up that big win the other night. Is there a team outside the top 10 that can be dangerous come tournament time? Which team is the most out of those teams?
I'm going to go St. Mark's, and here's why. They play defense, and they play that style that frustrates offensive teams. They're on a roll now. They can't. If they lost the Sallies and St. Elizabeth and was 7-4 at one point, then all of a sudden they beat Caravel. They beat St. Elizabeth in the rematch last night. They host Lazy Animal on Friday night. A big game for them.
Big game. They win that
Friday night. But they're a team that just frustrates team come tournament time. Last year they did almost upset St. Thomas More, who made it to the Final Four, just because St. Thomas More was a team averaging 80 points a game. St. Mark's holds them to 38. And it just frustrates teams. So I think they're a team that can do the most damage come tournament time because they will frustrate teams.
Frustrate teams, they do. But coming up next, we have to talk about our Spotlight game of the week. Appoquinimink, William Penn. It's coming up next on 302 Sports Weekly.
Welcome to Hooters. Have a seat wherever you like.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley. Cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
Welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. Benny Pinella, Pat Carianis, along with Nick Allison, Jerini, and Jason Winchell. Time to talk about our 302 Spotlight Game of the Week. Special thanks to AWOC Eds for the graphic, as you see it pop up on your screen. But Appoquinimink is taking on William Penn with 10-5. Appo at 10-5, and William Penn at 12-3. They could clinch a Flight A title win.
It's hard to believe.
This, as we talk about getting later in the season, still a few weeks left. For them to be able to clinch that, kind of coast towards the end, would be big for them. For Appo, they have a chance to steal a road conference win. Nick, what do they have to do?
We've seen Appo, we've done a couple of their games so far, and sometimes they seem like they get really out of their flow offensively. So I think that they knock down some jump shots early, get a rhythm going, get their offense flowing. They sometimes come out a little slow. They come out hot, knock down some jump shots. And I also think they can take advantage in the paint with FA down low. William Penn, they got some great athletes on that team. If we put him down low in the post, maybe we can get some baskets down there as well.
William Penn, you think of William Penn, you think of one thing, their defense, especially the past couple of years. And the last couple of games, giving up more points than we're used to seeing them give up. Jay, what do they got to do to get back on that defensive track? And in a big game that could, come into play, like you said, could clinch Flight A.
Yeah, and I think what they do very well is they play good team defense. They come out, they help one another out, they block a lot of shots. The one thing they've been struggling the last couple games is getting back on transition. And I think Steven Christensen will pound that home to his guys that if Appo tries to run, we have to get back. And we have to get back to playing colonial basketball, which is shutting down other teams' offenses. And we've done, me and Nick have done a bunch of their games this year, and every game they hold their opponents to under 40 points. They do a good job of holding the opponents down, and I think they're going to try and do that to Appoquinimink tomorrow night.
Talking about their defense, this is a game that might match up with Appo pretty well, Nick. You talk about getting that into their flow. If they're able to maintain that against a team that's kind of going through some defensive struggles, that could really end up benefiting Appo greatly.
Yeah, and like Jason Jason said, if they can get out in transition, get rolling, and maybe get a couple easy baskets early, and then have the jump shots come after that, get on the board, and then just let the flow ride with them, hopefully. And we'll see if they can do that. See if they can take good shots, better shots.
You look at William Penn this year, they've had a tough schedule, Jason. They've lost 2 tough road games, one in Sussex Tech, and one all the way in Wildwood Catholic in New Jersey. That team's 19-1. What do they have to do to get back to their winning ways? Name a few keys to the game for William Penn.
Well, like you said, William Penn, they have won 11 in a row before they got in the stretch. But you go on the road, it's not easy to travel down to Sussex Tech. It's not easy to travel down to Wildwood Catholic. They're long bus rides.
Right.
And Wildwood Catholic, according to Max Prep, is ranked in the top 300 in the nation. They're a very good team. Tough road game. Now you're home, and it's for the Flight A title. So what they need to do is get back into that defensive mindset and go to Harding and Wall, and try and get those two going early in the game, and try and get the big guys for Appo in foul trouble. When you do that, maybe you can cruise this one.
Dare I say, Buck Bowling.
Yes.
Ooh, there we go. On 302 Sports All Main team. Kind of a tale of two teams here. You got one that's kind of off a little bit, 2 consecutive losses, not playing great defense that we're accustomed to seeing out of William Penn. On the other side, Appo, they're hot right now. Beating Mount, beating Del Castle. Do they have what it takes to be able to continue that ride and beat William Penn?
I mean, I think they definitely have what it takes. Whether or not we'll see it tomorrow night, that's a different question. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think Appo's got a lot of talent on that team. They've looked good in a lot of games we've seen them this year. So I think it's going to be a good game tomorrow night. And I think Appo definitely has a chance to make some noise.
Let's start with some keys. All right, we'll give you the keys to William Penn. What does William Penn need to do to win?
Well, for William Penn, I mean, I think just bring that energy that they bring. Every time they're home, when me and Jason have been there, that place is rocking. They got the music going. They're bringing that energy. They're playing with a swagger to them, that goes unmatched. And they're very athletic. Be athletic. Just keep doing what they've been doing. Listen to their coach, I think.
Jay, you talked about Penn. They've given up transition baskets the last couple of games. Is that the main key for Appo to try and get out and run?
I was going to say, their transition game. If they can get that transition game going early and build a lead, they'll have confidence. We saw them a couple times against Louisiana and St. Elizabeth's, and they were down in that game, and they made a good run to get back in it. But it'd be nice for them if they can come out, jump out to that early lead, and then play from the lead.
At 302 Spotlight Game of the Week coming tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Check it out on our YouTube channel. Appoquinimink versus William Penn.
Twitter poll?
Ooh. Twitter Nick?
Yep. So
we got a Twitter poll out here?
Yeah, we might as well get it right now. Here we go.
Here we go,
We have
baby.
to come up, I'm already out. Here we go. So for Twitter poll, Appo at William Penn. You guys have spoken on social media, and as of right now, it is 66% William Penn, 34% Appoquinimink.
Does Appo have the underdog masks? Are they riding with that?
Dogs on
That's
the
the
road.
question right now. Are they riding
Dogs
with it?
on the road. Can they do it? We'll have to see. Can William Penn hold them off and get that Flight A win? Again, that is tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. on our YouTube channel at 302 Sports. And at 302 Sports on Twitter as well if you want to vote in that poll. Appoquinimink students, let's try to see if we can't swing that away, make it a little even, and see really what will happen on the court. Right now, though, we're going to step aside. When we come back, we're talking wrestling. That's coming up next on 302 Sports Weekly.
As a military wife, I love helping our airmen and their families with financial tools to help provide financial stability.
I promise to make a positive difference in your financial life, from helping you to lower your payments to discovering ways to help you save for your children's future.
From the needs of college students and first-time auto buyers, I promise to identify and take ownership of your needs.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Credit Union.
And began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus: wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus: wowing our customers.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley: cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lowest, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is
Welcome to Hooters. Have a seat wherever you like.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com.
As a military wife, I love helping our airmen and their families with financial tools to help provide financial stability.
I promise to make a positive difference in your financial life, from helping you to lower your payments to discovering ways to help you save for your children's future.
From the needs of college students and first-time auto buyers, I promise to identify and take ownership of your needs.
Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.re.com.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens and bathrooms. Want a professional no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
And welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. Benny Pennell alongside Pat Garianis, Nick Alessandrini, and Jason Winchell. Really quickly running through wrestling. Not exactly our forte here. It's more Benny Mitchell downstate. And looking at the top 5 in terms of Division 1, still Smyrna, Salesianum, Sussex Central, Caesar, Rodney, and Dover. For Division 2, you have Laurel, Indian River, Milford, Woodbridge, and Archmere. For a full listing of the individual rankings, log on to our Facebook page at 302 Sports.
Yeah, there was a big win, Smyrna defeating Sally's last week. that kind of cemented their #1 ranking.
And a big update today, Laurel beat Indian River to take home the Henlopen South, 37-29, so 1 versus 2 downstate. And that's big because the dual meet championships are this Saturday.
Yep.
I believe the quarterfinals start at 2, the semifinals at 4, and the finals at 6. The seedings will come out either sometime tomorrow or Friday, so take a look on our pages to see who's seated where.
Facebook.com @302sports. It was also a big day in terms of National Signing Day, Pat, and a couple of big surprises in the world of Delaware high school football. Isaiah Wilson from Smyrna is going to Norfolk State.
That he is. Congratulations to Isaiah. It was all over Twitter. A couple other players, though, to keep an eye on that signed their national letter. Kenny Edler from Middletown going to Westchester. Kedrick Whitehead from Middletown, he's going to UD.
Staying in state.
Jalik Hayward from Hodson's going to Maine. Bryce Wallace from Sally's, he's going to St. Joe's to play soccer.
Brandon Cervanek from Salesianum is attending Bucknell, and he's going to play football for him, which is very impressive. We have Nate Thomas from Pat's alma mater, St. E's. He signed with St. Joseph University to play baseball. Hunter Ballback is going to sign with Seton Hall to play football. Kelsey Ero from Mount Pleasant. She's going to go play softball at Ferrum College. And Kendall Trickey from Stanford. She's going to play soccer at St. Joe's.
And a couple other people to keep an eye out for. Rachel Finelli from Middletown. She's going to Delaware to play soccer. Isaiah Gatling from St. George's. He'll be taking his talents to Assumption College for football. Solomon Alexander from St. George's will be going to Valley Forge Military Academy for football. Jair Pritchett from St. George's West Liberty University for football.
Then we have 4 people going to Howard. We have Christian Francis of Alvernia. He's going to Alvernia. We have Jason Tribbett.
First year of their football program. Ben.
Yes,
so
and they decided to get to go into Howard there and get Christian Francis. Jason Tribbett, he's going to Bryn Athyn. Shepherd University is getting Ahmad John. And Sean Bowman is going to Maine University, joining, what was the other guy that went to Maine? Jalik Hayward from Hodgson.
2 big signings there, 2 great talents in the state. And Padua, Jay, what a day they had. You look at the players that is signed there. Ashley Brentlinger going to Florida Gulf Coast to play soccer. Remember that team, the basketball team?
Yeah.
Great. Angela Hallinan going to LaSalle University for crew, for rowing. Abigail Hamilton, Washington and Lee University for field hockey. Madeline Meyer going to Harvard University for rowing. Caitlin McGonigal, Bloomsburg University for volleyball. Taylor Mueller, King's College for volleyball. Lydia Oliveri, Villanova University for cross-country track and field. Emily Jerome, of course, going to Towson University for volleyball. And Emma Toy to West Virginia University, going there for rowing.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Got a couple more. We was at Smyrna for their signing day today as well, so there's 5 more from Smyrna. We got Jessica Anderson going to Wesley, Caden Naylor going to Wesley, Isaiah Wilson, we talked about Norfolk State, Larson Wilson, Assumption College, and one more. And Tykeem Moore is also going to Wesley. So 5 Smyrna Eagles today also signed.
A lot of Delaware athletes getting some college looks, man.
Yeah, I get the feeling next year our Delaware College athletes list is going to be pretty long.
It is.
Absolutely.
Once again, thank you to all the ADs, the athletic directors throughout the state, for giving us this information. We appreciate it. We talk about it all the time at the beginning of the show. This is what makes the show so great.
Yep. Congratulations to all the athletes, and good luck as well at the next level. One more break when we come back. Or do you want to go right now? Delaware Collegiate Athletes.
Let's do it. Let's just rock right down this, Benny.
From the University of the Sciences, women's basketball, they got their 14th straight win, 81-56 at Concordia. Alex Thomas from St. Elizabeth's, your alma mater, had a game-high 15 points, 5 of 8 shooting, moved into a tie for 12th in program history in points, 1,181.
Let's check in on Sean James, formerly Christiana High School. He's playing his ball at Lincoln University hoop action. They dropped a 60-52 decision to nationally ranked Virginia State. He had 12 points, all of them coming via the 3-point shot.
Niagara University, the Purple Eagles defeated Monmouth Hawks 96-91. Kevin Larkin from Sussex Tech at 14 points, career high 9 rebounds and 3 assists in his win.
Let's move on to the Mighty Macs of Immaculata. Their men's team picked up a 3rd straight victory Saturday afternoon. over visiting John Jay. 93-82 was the final. 5 players were in double figures, led by St. Elizabeth alum Mike Pekarski. 21 points, not to mention he forced John Jay turnovers to close out the non-conference play for the 27-18 season. It was 14 turnovers. Will Chapman from Concord pitched in 9 of his own to go along with a game-high 5 steals.
Sorry about that,
No,
Pat.
you're good.
Looking at Widener University, they house Shardea Sambo from Middletown. The Pride, they won their 4th game in a row. For Sambo, he fell just shy of a double-double with 13 points and 9 rebounds, blocking 3 shots in the process.
Let's check in on JoJo Cooper now, formerly of Concord and Tatnall. Wagner earned a 79-61 victory over St. Francis in Brooklyn, their 6th straight win. In the game for Wagner, Cooper had 14 points to go along with 8 assists and 6 rebounds.
Moving on to ECU, Isaiah Fleming. He was a part of 11 three-pointers that beat Memphis 88-85 in overtime. He registered his first triple-double for ECU, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists in the victory.
Let's check in on the number 1 team in all the land, Villanova. They broke Omen, a close contest late with a 28-9 spurt in the second half to get the 92-76 victory over Big East rival Seton Hall. Dante from Salesian and DiVincenzo had 13 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds in the victory.
And finally, talking about Duke, they lost a tough one to St. John's, 81-77. Going from 4-9. The Devils didn't play bad. It was just a matter of St. John's as a
It's not a good loss.
They didn't play
Not a good loss.
Trayvon Duvall had 5 assists to go along with 11 points. He's out of Sanford. Players of the week, we have Lydia Oliveri from Padua, the senior, incredible state championship last week.
Yep.
She won the 800, 1600, 3200, and also involved in a couple of relay wins for the Pandas. She broke the state record in the 800, of course, making her commitment today as well. Villanova, yeah.
Yep. And for the boys, it's Hassan Corbin, the Woodbridge senior, who scored his 1,000th career point this week and scored 24 points in a win over Milford. So congratulations to you, Hassan, on the accomplishment.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Kyrone Shut It Down Davis joins us on the set. We'll talk to him in a second on 302 Sports Weekly.
With great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique image you envision, we create.
Where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you. For all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.re.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley.
Hooters, have a seat wherever you like.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com.
Welcome to Hooters.
Restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley, cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley: cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lowes, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer.
Blue trim. Well, Davis right away letting his hands go, Amir.
Oh yeah, Kyrone, listen, this guy has all the mechanics of a future world champ. This is only his first fight, so you know you're going to see some mistakes or whatever, but trust me, this kid is the real deal, man.
You would think a young man making his pro debut would have a little jitters. As soon as that opening bell came, he looked like a rabbit just sprinting out of a hole. Oh,
no, he's ready.
Oh,
he's ready.
goodness,
He's ready.
Kyrone Davis!
Yes, sir. Yes,
with
sir.
a left and then a right.
And I don't think this guy is getting up.
Oh, Davis floors Wharf. And that's it, it's waved off.
That's it.
Kyrone Davis, welcome to boxing.
Kyrone Davis making a total statement tonight at his pro debut, man. And this kid, I'm telling you, he is the real deal. He just was sparring with Jesse Hart, future world champion, obvious future world champion, Jesse Hart. He just was sparring with Jesse Hart. And before I left the gym and they were getting ready to spar, I told Jesse, man, look, man, that's my little man, you know, he's making his debut, man. He's just turning pro. Don't, try to hurt him or anything, man. Jesse spoke to me later on that day and said, man, that dude is
Davis. And welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. Benny Pennell alongside Pat Garanes. That knockout you saw was by Kyrone Shut It Down Davis. He's been boxing since the age of 8. He's already racked a few notable accomplishments in the sport of boxing. He's the first ever amateur boxer from the state of Delaware to win 2 national championships. One at the Adidas boxing tournament in 2013. The other one at the PAL tournament in October of later that year. Davis has also been he's also competed on the Olympic teams and on the trials there in 2012. Despite not making the team, he did finish 3rd in the USA Boxing Tournament in 2013. Due to his solid showing, he was named an alternate before turning pro in 2016. Joining us on the show is Kai Davis. Kai, thank you for coming on the show with us.
Man? How you doing?
Doing very well. Very, very excited to have you on the show. Tell us what it's like. You saw that video, reliving that moment. Your pro debut, Delaware at Dover Downs. Come in and you get a first-round knockout. Is that how you felt like it was going to go, or dreamt that it was going to go?
Well, I mean, watching it now, I kind of see a lot of mistakes that I made in the fight, even with the 56-7 knockout or whatever. I see a lot of mistakes that I don't do anymore. But definitely it was a great showing for me for my first fight. Had a lot of jitters. I kind of don't remember anything. I kind of just went off of impulse and I just got the job done. The opponent was outclassed. It was kind of just a display. Had a lot of people come through. It was kind of just a showcase.
All right, so Kai, you've been boxing since you were 8. Obviously, you've been involved in this sport for a while. Who were some of your influences growing up, and who did you kind of like adapt your fighting style after?
Well, I'm the type of guy that when I see fighters, I try to implement what they do and do it in the ring. So like, I'll see a Winky right, and I'll try to do what he does, or a Toro Gotti, and I see what he does. Toro Gotti is actually my favorite fighter. I grew up in Orange, New Jersey,
okay.
And Gotti's from Jersey City, and I was my favorite fighter. I kind of can do it all, and I'm saying that in a way where I kind of like a chameleon in the ring. You'll see 2 fights and they'll look totally different in what I can do. I'm not one-dimensional at all. So one fight you would think you have me figure it out, but in another fight I'll do something totally different. It's actually I've probably fought about 5-6 different styles and only 14 fights that I've had in my pro career. So I think that's definitely one of my skills, and I kind of just watch everybody. I'm a real student in the sport.
So they think they have the answers, then you change the questions, is what you.
Yeah, I mean, I can say something like that. It's more so they're more of the question, and I have to answer them.
Right.
So I have to make the proper adjustments to win a fight. On the fly, having 100 amateur fights, 3 national titles. Yeah, I messed that up, but it's fine. Two would be good too. But definitely having all the fights that I've had. In only 3-minute rounds. I mean, 3-minute rounds in amateur boxing. You have to adjust really fast. You're in there with somebody who's highly talented, and you have to figure it out in that split second because you only got 3 rounds to do it. And I think that my amateur background helps me prepare for bigger fights where I have 10 rounds to get the job done.
Well, you certainly have had the answer plenty of times. 13-1 for your career, Kai. You've got a big fight coming up. March 3rd at Barclays Center, New York versus Patrick Day. You're on the Deontay Wilder card. Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz card. Big stepping stone in your career, Kai. Are you approaching this fight differently from fights in your past?
No, every fight's the same. My approach to every fight is exactly the same. I can't get distracted about where I'm fighting. Deontay Wilder is a great fighter, but I'm not fighting Deontay Wilder. I'm not on his card. I'm fighting my fight, and whatever happens in his fight is his fight. But I gotta get my job done first. So I'm not really concerned about which card it is or who I'm fighting or nothing like that. Every fight is a stepping stone fight because every fight gets me to the next level. I can't look at this fight like it's a bigger fight than any other fight because if I would have lost my last fight, it would have been just as big of a setback if I lose this fight. I have to make sure that I'm winning every fight that I'm in. And I have won every fight that I've been in. That the one fight that I felt like I lost, I feel like I didn't lose that fight. I feel like a lot of politics into that fight. I watched the fight again, and I have a lot of people that watched the fight, and a lot of people believe that I won that fight. So we take that as a learning experience and just not a loss, but a character building kind of a thing. Kind of makes you a little bit more honest about what I'm doing in the ring.
That one fight you're talking about, we'll get back to the Patrick Day fight. You're talking about the fight to Junior Castillo. What did you learn from that fight, and as you were saying?
Well, in the ring, in the ring, I didn't feel like I learned much. Outside of the ring, I learned more. Who's really on your side, the people that ride the bandwagon when you're up. I feel like it's different. People act different when you're not a winner. It opens up your eyes to the people that's real and people that's fake around you. People look at you differently. People call your phone less. It's definitely one of those eye openers, and I'm happy that it happened. It's made me better as a fighter and made me more disciplined as a fighter. That's more so that I've learned inside. I mean, little things in the ring. I made little mistakes in the ring that made the fight a little closer than it should have been. But that's all relative. I can't really get too into that because that fight's already passed, and I have to continue to just grow as a fighter completely.
Talking about the past, moving into the future, Patrick Day is 14-2-1, beating the undefeated Eric Walker in his last fight in August of last year. What can you tell us about Pat Day that kind of poses a challenge to you?
I don't know.
That's it.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I don't get too into that. I don't watch a bunch of tape. I'm not really concerned what he's there to do. I'm concerned what I got to do. I know if I'm 100% ready, he can't beat me. If 100% he can't beat me. If I'm on my A game, he can't beat me. Only way I can win is if I come in and I'm being lackadaisical when I lose that fight. He's not better than me. The little bit I've seen of him, I'm not taking it from granted. But what I'm telling you is I'm really confident in my ability to do. I just got back from camp with Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. I just got a camp from Islandy Laura. I got a camp from him. Back to back, 2 different styles, 2 top of the tier type of guys. I'm fully prepared mentally for this fight. I don't know much about him. I know that he's a fighter. I know that he's going to come to win. Like everybody comes to win. I know he's not going to lay down easily. He knows this is an important fight, but March 30 he's not going to beat me.
Now, you dropped from middleweight to super welterweight, so you're at 154 currently. Why make that change? What about that change? Do you feel that gives you an advantage? Did you like the change for yourself?
I feel like it gives me more of an advantage. It's definitely a discipline thing. It's definitely one of those things where I felt like if I can discipline myself even more, guys definitely won't be able to stand a chance. That's been my life, just making adjustments. I felt like I could have. I feel like I couldn't make the weight, so I tried it and I made the weight, and I feel very comfortable. I feel better. I feel faster. My endurance is better at the weight, so it was definitely a good move. We didn't just jump right into it. We moved down to 57 and then moved down to 54. I feel great at the weight.
Kyrone, Shut It Down Davis. For the folks at home, Shut It Down. Unique nickname. Can you tell us the story behind it?
But I had many nicknames. I had Pretty Boy because my looks or whatever. I got a little bit of that. Maybe I got a few names. The Body Snatchers. Sometimes I get into that body snatching. There you go. I got a few nicknames that I've got, and Shut It Down, the SE name I gave myself. I was in church one day, and the pastor, I can't remember her name, but she was talking about shutting down things that are deterring you from your goals. Shutting down the drugs in your life, shutting down the alcohol that's in your life, or shutting down the distractions, or shutting down things that are in your way. It's not necessarily doing a shutting down in the ring, but it's almost shutting everything down around so you can do what you got to do. A lot of people get distracted. They have super talented people, and they get distracted. You know what I mean? You got to kind of stay focused. You have to understand there's a bigger picture. It's a bigger platform. To get on a bigger platform, you have to be more focused. I don't consider myself a regular person. I feel like what I'm doing is my job is extremely dangerous, and if I don't take it seriously, I can get hurt in there. And I understand that. So shutting down other things that in my life that maybe you get in the way, that's what my name means. And also the adjustments that I make in the ring, shutting down a person's game plan, that's what Shut It Down means. Shut It Down I hold a heavy heart on that. They also call me Heartbreak now. The reason why they call me that is because after my fight, I told you that people didn't call me the same. People didn't talk to me the same. And you know what? It hurts when people you thought cared about you don't really care about you. And now I feel like when I fight somebody, they gotta feel my pain. You know what I mean? You have to feel how I want you to feel how it feels. For it not to be pretty. So when I train the sad music. I don't train all that. I train the sad music, emotional music. I need to feel the pain. I have desire. I have a fire and desire in my heart to be a winner, and that's definitely what I'm gonna do March 3rd.
Wow, impressive. So there's been some great boxers that have come through Delaware. Talk Dave Tiberi, Willie Roach, among others. What about the history of boxing in the state of Delaware intrigues you, if any at all?
I feel like we had a lot of good fighters. I wouldn't say great. We never had a world champion in Delaware. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of legends for Delaware. I feel like we haven't reached that. We haven't won a Super Bowl yet.
Right.
Like the Eagles.
Right.
The Eagles just got one, and now it feels different. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the Autumn NFC Championship that they won. You know what I mean? I'm not a big Eagles fan, but I respect the fact that they was the underdogs. I feel like I've been an underdog my whole life, and I can respect the fact that they went out there and they wasn't supposed to.
It was like looking in the mirror.
It was like, look, exactly. I'm looking at Nick Foles, and I'm like, man, this guy is really, everybody counted him out. He wasn't even a quarterback. He was thinking about retiring. So it's definitely one of those things where you gotta just believe in yourself.
Talking about the state of Delaware, you were born in New Jersey, live in Wilmington. You went to high school at Christiana. When and how did you get involved in boxing? Because we talked about the history, but it's been a while. Those names, Dave Tiberi, Whistling Willie Roach, those are from the 80s, 90s, and for Willie Roach, it's back in the 40s. Boxing in Delaware, is it bigger than what a lot of people know?
I think it's a big gap. I feel like we don't have a lot of fighters. I don't know, it's something about the culture. We have a lot of good football players. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, we don't have a lot of fighters. Even Dave didn't win a title.
No.
Or even Joe. Those guys haven't won world titles. That's the epitome of the sport, a world title. You got to win one. And that's what I plan to do for the state. I feel like we never won one. I feel like when I win one, we're going to throw a parade.
That's it. There you go. There you go. A lot of young kids watching right now, a lot of high school kids watching right now. Share with them how to get into boxing and how to become the next or their own unique version of Kyrone Davis?
You gotta have a vision. When I was in high school, and I told everybody I wasn't going to college. College wasn't for me. I said I'm gonna be a professional boxer. They laughed. They told me that I couldn't do it. And my plan seemed different because, it's always, go to school, get an education, go to college. Right. That's the way you hear it. And I had a different plan. You have to believe in yourself. It's about believing in yourself. I had a family, I had a mom and a dad that believed in me. I told my dad, I don't like school. He says it's not the only way to make it. He told me, if you're gonna do something, you gotta put your all into it and you will not fail. You will not fail. It's impossible to fail if you put your all into something. Everybody got the same 24 hours. It's how you use your 24 hours. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in that. I'm not opposed to school. I understand the realization that this world is real. So what I did, I said, let me make sure that I'm okay. I took a firefighting class. I took a structural class. I took a vehicle safety class, CPR, all the classes that I need to take. That if something happened to me, I've hurt myself, I'll be able to sign up into the Wilmington Fire Department. I'm having the backup plan. So I understand that I didn't like school, but I went ahead and did the training. I said, okay. I set that aside. Now, that stuff doesn't expire. I found something that wouldn't expire. So now look, I'm gonna put my all into this boxing thing. I'm gonna put every ounce of me into my boxing career. That's what kids need to do, is put their all into something. Don't be scared to be great. To be special. Do not be regular. Put that in your mind that you are not regular. You're not a regular person. You are an amazing person, and be amazing. Everybody has a gift. I feel like God given everybody a gift. And if you use it properly and you are true to yourself, you will not fail. And even if that's on a larger scale, on a smaller scale, you will find a way to get satisfaction in what you love.
I'm ready to run through a wall. I'm ready to run through a wall, literally. Final words. Yeah. March 3rd, your fight versus Patrick Day. Tell Delaware, the world, why you're the best fighter at 154.
We're going to find out. I feel like I'm the best. I don't need you to believe me. I'm going to show you. I'm going to get in the ring and I'm going to show you. And that's been my motto. I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to really show you. So you don't got to believe me. You can just say, okay, we'll see. And I don't want you to believe me anyway, because now you're going to watch and see, okay, let's see what this Kyrone is all about. And I'm going to show you what I'm about. I'm going to go in the ring. I think I'm going to wear white and gold. I'm feeling real royalty. And I'm going to be super fast and really elusive. And I've been doing yoga classes, so I'm going to be real limber. I feel like this might not go 10 rounds.
Here we go. Here we go.
I can't wait.
Shut it down, Davis. Kyrone, thank you so much for coming on the show. Middle School Explosions this Sunday, 12:30 at St. Elizabeth's High School. Also, the Muscle Movement Foundation 5K, April 7th to St. Mark's. Check those out on mmf5k.com. And thank you very much for joining us on 302 Sports Weekly. We'll see you next week. Thanks so much, man.
No problem.
Making his pro debut in the burgundy and gold trunks. You heard it first from my broadcast partner, Amir Mansour. He said this kid's going to be special. Let's see what he has against Joshua Wharf, who's 0-1, white trunks, blue trim. Well, Davis right away letting his hands go, Amir.
Oh, yeah, Kyrone, listen, this guy has all the mechanics of a future world champ. This is only his first fight. So, you're going to see some mistakes or whatever, but trust me, this kid is the real deal, man.
You would think a young man making his pro debut would have a little jitters. As soon as that opening bell came, he looked like a rabbit just sprinting out of a hole.
Oh, no, he's ready.
Oh, goodness, Kyrone Davis!
Yes, sir. Yes,
with
sir.
a left and then a right.
And I don't think this guy is getting up.
Oh, Davis floors Wharf. And that's it. It's waved off.
That's it.
Kyrone Davis, welcome to boxing.
Kyrone Davis making a total statement tonight at his pro debut, man. And this kid, I'm telling you, he is the real deal. He just was sparring with Jesse Hart, future world champion, obvious future world champion, Jesse Hart. He just was sparring with Jesse Hart. And before I left the gym and they were getting ready to spar, I told Jesse, man, look, man, that's my little man. You know, he's making his debut, man. He's just turning pro. Don't, try to hurt him or anything, man. Jesse spoke to me later on that day and said, man, that dude is
David.